Hi everybody, thank you for checking out my review for this OOSSXX 8-channel closed circuit security system. This is the HD model. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the one that I had previously. So I have had an OOSSXX security system for about a year now, somewhere in that range. And I've been very pleased with it, but it's a 4-channel system. I decided that I wanted an 8-channel system, and also I wanted to upgrade the cameras a little bit. The old system is great, plenty clear to see, but I figured if I was going to get an 8-channel, I was going to upgrade anyway. I might as well get the HD. This is like 960, something like that. So I wanted to show you what came in the box before we get started. Then I'm going to run you through how to set it up. This one is actually easier to set up than the old version, but I'll still run you through a couple of the scenarios and make sure that you can get this thing up and rolling pretty easily. So in the box you have 4 of these security cameras. Those are the ones set up. This is the actual unit itself. I did get one without a hard drive. My other one had a hard drive. This one did not, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is take the hard drive out of the other one and put it in here. What I'd like to do and what I would highly recommend is saving up for a solid state drive, because if you're running this thing all the time, it's going to be looping. Every hard drive will eventually fail. So I'd recommend getting a solid state if you have the funds for it. Comes with a mouse to control it, and of course all of the power supplies themselves. Inside also comes with these boxes. This is how the cameras come themselves, nice and wrapped up. You're going to take those out, just take it out of the plastic there. It comes like this, and all you have to do is screw the antenna on, and you're good to go. All right, so there's that. On this side it has the Ethernet port and then the power cable adapter right there. Sorry, the port for the adapter. These are the adapters. So one of the things that I noticed, and this is actually my only complaint with this system, I've had the system up and I was testing and playing around with it before I showed you, and my only complaint is this is not a very long cable. So the power cord is actually a lot shorter than my other ones. For most people, especially if you have power near your cameras, this is perfect. I mean, you'll want a smaller one. I did realize that in the old system, when I was looking through some of the reviews, people complained that the power cables were too long. So it's kind of, you know, can't please everybody all the time. But I just want you to know that's how long the power cables are, so that you kind of know what to expect. So you can either get an extension cable, or, you know, these are just pretty standard power cables. You can see right there, it's a 12 volt 1 amp. You can get those pretty much anywhere. This adapter for 12 volts is pretty much standard. So you can get another setup there. As far as connecting it, I'm going to take you over to the TV. We'll get this connected up. I'll show you the cameras plugged in. Then I'm going to show you a couple little secrets that I picked up when trying to set these up. I'm also going to teach you how to tie in, if you happen to have these old system or another wireless IP camera. I'll teach you how to tie this into your system as well, so that you can add the extra cameras that you have lying around. I wanted to say 2 things that I purchased. For my old one, I bought one of these routers. This is actually a wireless repeater, so what I do is I tie this in to my internet, and then I plug that into this box, because this box itself does not have Wi-Fi built into it. So you actually have to connect it directly into your router. Well, my router's in a different room than the TV that I wanted this by, so I got around that by just plugging it into this, and it works great. And then I bought these. This is to give me power. So basically this plugs into a light socket. It's like $3 or something. Plugs into a light socket. Then you can just plug your power cable. You can plug your power cable right here into the side, and this gives me power outdoors. So I'll show you the one that I use in my backyard. I use this. Plugged it in this way, and then I just actually got it's a motion detector LED light, and so it only turns on from dawn to dusk, and then I still have my light out there how I need it. So that's the way that it worked for me. It's an awesome setup. I'm really happy with it, and so far I just barely took this out to make sure that the interface was the same before I decided to run you through it. And the interface is really nice. It's actually quite easy to set up. So let me get you over to the TV and we'll teach you how to do it. All right, so I am back now. I'm here at the TV. I've plugged in 3 of the 4 cameras. I actually tested this before, and so what I ended up doing, the cameras themselves, actually all 4 of them are already tied into the DVR, and so they automatically came up. Now I'm initializing the system. So they automatically linked. So what I ended up doing is I deleted one so that I can show you how to manually add it. So now it's initializing, so we should be missing that 4th camera there. It'll walk you through a setup wizard the first time. I'm going to go ahead and skip that now because that's just taking time, and I don't want to burn up any more time than I have to. So now it's configuring the system. That's all right. So as far as connecting it into the TV, it's super simple. All you do is connect in your, you connect your HDMI into the back. You connect the power in, and you connect the mouse into the USB cable. That part's really easy. All right, so this is just saying that it's not connected to the internet. That's because I haven't connected it. Now it has no hard drives because I don't have a hard drive. So you can see 3 of the 4 of them are working. So what I'm going to do is you're going to right click here and go into Video Manage. There's no password until you set it, which I would recommend doing, but let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what I ended up doing is to manually connect these in. This is the back part of that camera. So you connect that right in here and into the Ethernet cable, and that is plugged into the back of your actual, we'll call it the DVR, but the actual brain of your unit. And then do refresh. If for some reason it doesn't automatically come up with this, all you have to do is restart your system, which is what I just did, so that it could show up with that. Honestly, there's 2 of them now. There's only 1 plugged in. I think it's actually picking up on one of my other cameras already, one of the other 4 that I have out there. So I'm thinking these are all 172 IP addresses, so this is probably a 172. So I'm going to select that and then do match code. Then choose yes. So really, you probably should only have 1 camera showing up there, or unless, you know, you have more than 1 camera plugged into it, which you probably don't. So once you do match address, you can see that now it's automatically adding it. So this is the 4th camera, which is the one that was deleted, and now you can see that's this guy down here in the corner. That one's working now. So that's how you manually add a camera. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and connect in one of the cameras from my old OOSSXX system, just so that I can show you how to do that. It's actually the same process that we're doing now. All right, so this is my old camera. I pulled it down from outside. You can see it's nice and dirty, very well used, but still works great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this. That's the Ethernet cable. You can see that even after disconnecting, this camera still works just fine. You can see that down in the 4th screen. The camera works. Once it's added, it's added. But I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that camera because I need the power source, and I'm going to plug this in here, plug it into that camera. This is the old one. We're going to manually add it the same way, so this is going to be Ethernet cable plugged into it. Once that's done, I'm going to refresh this, and it may not show up, and that's okay. If it doesn't show up, we can try to restart. Now I'm going to refresh it and see if now it's searching. If this doesn't work and it doesn't come up with the IP address, what I'll do is restart the entire system. All right, so it didn't come up with that. So I'm going to reboot the whole system. So exit system, reboot, and choose yes. Again, anytime you want to bring up the menu, it's just the right click on the mouse, super easy. So now it's going to reboot. That's going to take a minute. So what I'm going to do is pause this recording for a second until it boots itself back up. Okay, so it only takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds to reboot. Now it's going to initialize. It should find the cameras, except for the 4th one, because that one is unplugged. The power is unplugged from it. So that 4th one down in the corner isn't coming back. Now it's trying to configure the network, which it's not going to be able to do because I don't have it connected to a network. To connect it to the network, you just run the Ethernet cable from the back of the DVR into your router or into the repeater if you're doing what I'm doing. But I have it disconnected from the router because I'm connected through the Ethernet cable into this older camera to make sure to get it started. So again, you're going to right click, Video Manage, no password right now, and you can see this IP camera came up. So this is the old IP camera. So basically what I did is I just restarted the system so that it booted up while this Ethernet was connected to the old camera. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing and just choose match code and yes. So what you're going to see is it's going to say matching code, then it's going to add it to my list, You can see this is the 8 channel, so there's 8 potential spots for cameras. All right, and there you go. So now it's connected, and you put OK. All right, so this one here, this is the white one. So you can see it's that, sorry, it's the one right in the middle, the one I was covering up. So that's this is the old camera itself, and it's all connected now. It automatically adjusts depending on how many cameras you have set up. It's a little trippy because I'm looking through a camera at a camera, so it's like falling down a hole. Anyway, don't get distracted. All right, so you can see it's super easy to add another camera. I haven't tried it with some of the other brand cameras. I'll try it with I have some like internal IP address cameras, and I'll see if I can add it with that and see if it works. If it does, I'll let you know. I'll just do it through the same process. So you can see though, actually setting it up is super easy. You don't even have to go through that whole match code thing 99.9% of the time, because actually all 4 of the cameras that it came with were automatically added to it. So all I did was boot it up. Literally, you plug the power into the cameras and you boot it up. Super, super easy. I am actually impressed. I didn't think that I would really notice a difference between the old cameras and the new cameras. Let me see if I can find. That's probably not. It's not. Nah, that's not gonna work. But I'll see if I can get a comparison between the old and the new camera. There actually is a difference in quality. It's noticeable. Is it enough to you know, be upset about? No. I think the old cameras themselves, actually, the older system that's not considered HD, really has good quality cameras as well. This newer version, it's nice. It is clearer quality. I guess in a real situation where you needed this to identify somebody, you probably want as good a quality as you can. So in that situation, I probably recommend getting the higher quality. But as far as the setup, it's easier to set up than the last unit. They worked out some of the bugs, I think, that a lot of people complained about. And it's a really nice setup. So I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to take you outside. I want to show you what I did with the socket to connect this into external power outside. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll deal with that. We'll deal with it. Sorry, I'm getting excited because there's another feature on here, but I want to do a separate video on that feature, a separate addition to this that you might see towards the end of it. But anyway, I'm going to take you outside and just show you how I mounted these, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, I want to show you how to set up this app really fast. It's called IP Pro. This is the app that's used with this system. You can scan the QR code in the instruction book or just download it from your Play Store. That's what I did. This is an Android. It was right there. Download it. All you have to do to add it is you're going to click here up in the corner where it has the plus sign. Then you're going to add device by ID. It's going to come up here. You're going to either manually enter this cloud ID or you can scan the QR code. So, but to find the QR code, all you're going to do is right click, system setup, network setup. This is your cloud ID. You can enter that, or you can do show QR code. I got to turn this sideways. Okay, there it goes. So it scanned it. It found my cloud ID. You can change your username and password, which I highly, highly recommend. Then you just choose submit. So the username and password is actually changed in the general setup section, the network setup section of the on your DVR. All right, so this is the whole setup. It shows all the cameras. You can click on one to pull it up. Down here in the corner, layout options. So you can watch it individually. So that's individually. Each channel, you can scan left to right and change your channels. You can see this is at night, so that's really good. Yeah, I don't have all of mine connected, but it's really good night vision. You can see it's not, as far as color goes, it doesn't really have color because it's infrared, but it runs really, really well. And then here's your layouts down here. So you can see, just to show you the night vision, there's the back door there. So down here in the corner, you can take a picture. If you see something funky going on, you can take a picture, or you can actually record it to your phone, which is cool because you can set it to send you notifications if it senses motion, and then you can just make a recording. So you can see that's super easy. That's all it takes to set it up. Make sure you set a username and password. Other than that, it takes about 30 seconds to set up your device. and get it synced with your phone. As long as it says healthy network and the network status on your DVR, you're set. That's all you need to be able to connect it, that and the QR code, and you're good. All right, so this is how I have it set up. I just want to show you really fast. This is the little socket I was telling you about with the power adapter on the side. So you turn the light switch on and that gives it power, and then I just have this LED motion detector so that the light's not on all day, every day. So it just turns on at night when you walk by, which is awesome. Those aren't very expensive. The light bulbs themselves are like 10, 15 bucks, but they work really good. I also want to show you, look at this big old nasty tangle of wires. So this is what I was telling you, you know, some people, depending on where you have your power in relation to your camera, you're going to want a shorter power cable. I'm actually going to exchange this shorter power cable out for this older one. So I'm not going to dock any stars because it has a shorter power cable, because really, you know, either way you're going to have to make some adjustments. If they came with the longer power cable like this, you're going to end up wadding it up and making a nasty looking ball of wires like that. If it comes with a shorter power cable, you might end up having to put an extension cord on it. So there is no perfect power cable that automatically adjusts for every length that you need, and so because of that, I don't think it's worth docking a star. As far as the new changes that go in this new system, I'm very pleased with it. The firmware seems more stable. It's definitely easier to connect. All 4 of the cameras automatically connected by themselves. If they don't, I showed you how to do the match code. It's super simple. It works great. The quality of the video is good, and for the price, really, I mean, I think this unit here, this 8-channel, it didn't come with the hard drive, but I think I paid just right around 200 bucks. Like, that's a great price for the actual system itself and 4 cameras. And then I can patch in my old 4 cameras, and I have an 8-channel system for relatively inexpensive. And so I'm very pleased with it, and I give this 5 stars.